Pilates movers, and welcome to day 21 of our mat class challenge. Today we are going to still work on the very focused and controlled mat work with slight regressions. And so I have some props today. I have a band and a ball and a magic circle, and I have the box. Remember, you don't need a box. You can use a chair or a couch or anything that raises your feet. So you don't need this, I don't think, for today. And so we are gonna go ahead and get started laying on our backs. Put my props here. And we are going to start with, be sure you guessed it, breathing. I'm going to keep my feet down today and put my circle here. We did this yesterday. We're gonna stay everything pulled in, shoulders reaching away from our ears and a little bit behind us without extending our spine. We're going to inhale and exhale. Long exhale, pressing into the circle. Okay, keeping that connection as we inhale. We're just going to let our hands go, but keep our shoulders sliding down, and exhale, squeeze. Inhale, little release. Exhale, squeeze. And as we exhale, we're going to soften the sternum down. We're getting more flexion in through the spine. Keeping our collarbones wide. Okay, so we're not rounding forward with our shoulders. We almost, I think about it, pressing from the back of the arm. So the front of our shoulders stay open. And let's do two more. And last one. And then from here, we'll take one leg into chair position. We'll hold our circle here. I just kind of spiral my elbows out. And then from here, we're going to anchor the arms and exhale, pull the knee in towards you. Inhale, release. This is working our hip flexor. Okay, making sure that our pelvis remains stable. We're not tucking, we're not arching. And our stabilizing leg is very turned on. On our next one, we're going to hold the squeeze and we're going to extend at the knee and bend. And two more. And hold and release. All right, and second side, we'll find our chair position, readjust if you need to, and let's pulse in and release. Exhale, pulse in. Remembering the position of our shoulders, scooping the belly in, and every exhale we close the rib cage more. Two more here. And hold the second one, and we'll extend the knee and bend. And let's go two more. And relax. Whew. And let's put the magic circle in between our knees. I'm going to elevate my heels for this one, but you don't have to. And from here, let's make sure that our pubic bone is maybe slightly higher than our hip bones. Our rib cage is down and closed. And let's exhale, squeeze the circle. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. And as you're squeezing, allow the ribs to come down into the table or your mat and towards your belly button. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Hold the abdominals in. You can put your hands there to feel if it's moving. Or put your hands on your ribs right where they split to see if they're opening on the inhale. And our lower leg, back of our leg, hamstring is a little turned on. We want our glutes turned off a little bit. So we're really working the inner thigh connection. Two more. Nice, and I'm going to keep my feet elevated. You can put your feet down if you want to. And we'll hold the circle over our chest here, elbows slightly bent and internally rotated. So almost like you're pulling your elbows in towards the center and your elbow crease is facing behind you. And let's inhale and exhale. Squeeze. Inhale, release, and exhale, squeeze. As you squeeze, let's keep our shoulders behind us. Mine are rolling forward. And we're going to think of right under our armpit, squeezing our circle from there, okay? Not by bringing the shoulders up and forward. And let's do 2 more. I'm going to hang on to that squeeze because it helps me connect everything in. And we're going to bridge here, okay? So remember, we're going to exhale, using the exhale to initiate that tailbone curl. Fire up the hamstrings and glutes to continue rolling up through your spine, all the way to your shoulders. Lots of hamstring here. Inhale and exhale, tilt the pelvis, pull the sternum away from your circle, and roll down. And again, if you need to bring your arms down for more support, you can disregard the circle. Inhale and exhale, squeeze. Really scooping in. Close the ribs around. Reach to the shoulders, draw the top of the arm down into your mat. Inhale and exhale, reverse out of that little extension. Still keeping shoulders anchored. Lots of length in the low back here, and ending in neutral. 1 more time, inhale and exhale. Should be this slow, okay? So we're moving our 1 vertebra at a time, and each one is about 1 inch. Inhale and exhale, back, down. Good, and you can keep your feet raised or put them down. I'm going to put them down. My hamstrings need a little break. And I'm going to put this cushion of my circle at the base of my occiput, or where my head meets my neck spine. And I'm going to pull my elbows not wide, not narrow, but in between, and push up with my arms and allow my head to be heavy in the magic circle. I'm going to find all my connections here. That exhale, inhaling into my back, and exhale, using my core muscles and my lower shoulder by pushing up on the circle to round up. And this is now, maybe we can feel how our neck does not have to be involved. Inhale, return down. Exhale, shrink the rib cage, flexing up. Inhale down. It doesn't look like a lot, but without the neck flexion, our spinal flexors, that's our abdominals, work a lot harder, right? It's not as much balance. I really want you to be able to feel the movement from that space. And let's do about 2 more. And last one. And relax. Ooh, very nice. From here, I'm going to grab my band. Okay, what I like about this band is for some of our leg series. Remember I was talking about how we have to create an internal support system and create our own resistance. And that can be really hard if you don't know what that feels like. So this band is going to give us a clue as to what that resistance feels like. So we are first going to put it above our knees and put our feet on the ground. Okay, mine is a medium band. It's not super heavy. Okay, I'm going to find all my connections. It should be a lot easier now to get into there almost without having to exhale. Shoulders down and long neck. And I'm just going to inhale, open my legs out to the side. And exhale, return. And inhale, open them, pushing into the band. And exhale. I'm resisting the band. And yes, I am rolling out all the way to the edges of my foot as I have that range of motion at my hip. I'm losing my breathing. I'm inhaling on the way out, exhaling close, but sometimes I mess that up a little bit. Let's do 2 more. And next, we are going to do a little bit of circles with our leg. We're going to keep the leg bent, starting at our chair position. I'm going to slide back a little so my stabilizing leg is not quite as bent. And from here, we're going to inhale across, it's not really across the center line, but it's close to the center line, and circling out. Okay, so it's like we've taken that movement we just did with our both feet down, and now raise one foot. It's called open chain. And reverse. And again, I have fingers on my hip bones and my rib cage so I know they're not separating or changing. And also the band is giving me feedback on what I should be working when I circle. One more time. And center and replace. And second leg up. And again, we'll go a little bit across the center, open and around, making sure hips are centered. One more. And we're going to reverse. We open to the side, around, and up. So we're really isolating movement in the hip socket here, using the band as resistance so we know where to move from. And I lost count, so let's do 1 more. And let's replace. Let's do a little roll up here. And let's take the band off. Okay. Let's do some roll downs here, just some half roll downs. I'm just putting my feet at the backs because that's all the space I have. And I'm putting my hands in the band, okay, with my thumbs free. And I'm going to just pull on the band a little bit so I have some tension. This is gonna look like this, okay? And I'm going to do a half round back. We're going to inhale, exhale, we're gonna find those same connections, same like we did with bridging. Use that to round the spine, but press the arms down so we're not up and forward here, and round back. Inhale and exhale, round forward, and sitting up tall, okay? Inhaling and exhale, round the spine, curl the tailbone under. You can see I'm trying to get length right here, not as much right here. It's easier to find in that mid back as opposed to the low back. Inhale and exhale, and curl forward, and sitting up tall. Let's do 1 more this way. And round back, and inhale, and exhale, and curl forward, pull the belly in, and sitting up tall. Okay, we can always have more abdominal engagement. I say that quite a bit. Let's sit with our legs out. If you need to sit on your box, let's do that. I'll sit on the box so you can see what it's like to do a spine stretch forward with this kind of modification, okay? I'm sitting on the box. Normally we would sit in a straddle, but I'll bend my knees because I'm kind of high up. We're gonna use this band. Let's inhale and exhale. We're gonna round forward. Remember, it's not an up and over, but it's down and a little out. And reach the arms so they're parallel to the floor, and the spine is going to think of rolling through the arms. Inhale and exhale, curl up just as if you're sitting up against the wall. Inhaling here and exhale, a little tension on the band just for a little extra work. Scoop the belly in with that exhale, closing the ribs. Inhale into the back of the ribs and exhale all the way up. Inhale and exhale, round. And let's do 1 more. Inhale and exhale, rolling up. and releasing the arms. Very nice. From here, let's get off the box. Let's do a little bit of work in the side plane, okay? So I'm gonna be kneeling. I'm gonna sit onto one tushy, and I'm gonna come onto my shoulder. Okay, I have my feet stacked on top of each other. My knees are in front of my hip, and my feet are behind my knees, and I'm finding that mouse house, look at that, and pushing up onto my shoulder. Okay, and I'm just gonna inhale and exhale. I'm just gonna lift here. Okay, I'm gonna think of pushing my hips open, lifting through the shoulder, little side bend in the neck. Inhale and exhale, control down. Inhale and exhale, close those ribs in the front, push down through the shoulder. Inhale and exhale down. Good. Let's do one more and hold it. Inhale and exhale, lift, hold. Collarbones are wide here, and we can take a leg up if you have it and press down through that bottom leg to work that entire lateral line. Okay, and lower the leg and down, and let's switch sides. Okay, you can always do this on your hand if you want, and you can do a regular full side arch if you want, but remember this is our scaled back version. So let's come down to our elbow. Okay, knees are in front of my hips and feet are behind my knees, and let's inhale and exhale, push up. Inhale and exhale, control down. Whoops, lift onto that shoulder. I got a little lazy there. Inhale and exhale, push down through the bottom leg. You may feel a stretch somewhere here. Pull the ribs closed on both sides and then pull up and then back down. And let's do one more. Inhale and exhale, pull it up. And let's lift that top leg. Fighting for our core muscle engagement. Pubic bone still in front of the hip bones a little bit. So we make sure our back is nice and lengthened and not overworking. Very nice. And then I'm gonna sit with my legs out this way. You can sit on a box or sit cross-legged. We're gonna go arms out to the side. I need to scooch. And we're just gonna inhale and exhale, side bend. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale to the second side. Inhale and exhale. Okay, I know we've done bigger versions of this. I want you to feel like you're sitting back on your tailbone. Okay, and your rib cage is closing, and your hip bones and your rib cage, even though they lift a little bit away from each other, still have a connection to each other. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Articulate the spine up. I'm also squeezing my inner thighs together. Inhale and exhale, second side. Inhale and exhale, control up. One more on each side. And relax here. Very nice. I'm going to leave that at today. I didn't get to the ball, but the ball can be used as a prop for the back of your head if that helps you find your thoracic flexion. All right. I will see you, let's see, the 22nd. We will do one more kind of prop-a-palooza again. And then the 23rd and 24th, we are going to work on rotation so that on the 25th, we will do a classical series with the snake. It's the year of the snake.